Hey guys, this is No Solution. I'm Scott, and got a couple of albums in the more extreme vein to talk about today, and kind of a brief wrap up of the Bob Dylan concert that I went to a couple weeks ago, or last week, something like that. I did a live video with Garage Geek right after that, so if you want more in-depth talk about the Bob Dylan show, you can watch that. Even though I think we kind of didn't talk about it all that much, you know how that goes. You start a live stream on a topic, and then you end up just start bullshitting. But that'll be at the end. So if you don't care about Bob Dylan, when I start talking about Bob Dylan, that's going to be the end of anything you care about. I just wanted to talk about one of my favorite bands who just put out a new live album, Rotting Christ. 35 years of evil existence, live in Lirabellis, something like that. It's kind of hard to read with the font and then the gold foil on it and all that. Anyway, it's some venue in Athens. Let's see if we can. It looks like an outdoor amphitheater. You can see right there. It looks pretty cool. There's no video of it. It's just a CD. It kind of would be cool to see a video of what it looked like, but I'm guessing it's a big deal to play there based on that they put it in the title. So they have Ryan Christ has a track record of really great live albums. So I pulled out their two kind of standalone full-length live albums. They've had other live stuff as part of like box sets and B-sides and things like that. But this was the first like full-fledged live album. Non Servium, a 20-year apocryphal story. So this is a 2 CD, 2 DVD set. Comes in this slipcase here. This comes out. And then, we've got the stacked discs, which I do not enjoy, but that's the world we live in now. This was recorded in Athens as well, I believe in 2007. After the release of Theogonia, which was kind of considered like a comeback album for them. And just a fantastic live performance. And there's also extra songs from another show at a club they did around that time. So you've got like 2+ hours of live Rotting Christ. There's a little overlap between the sets, but not all that much. So obviously this one focused a lot on that kind of Theogonia era, since that was such a highly acclaimed album. That's what they were touring. Then we move on to this one, Lucifer over Athens, again recorded in Athens. And this was 2015, recorded in the end of 2013 in December. Just a great varied set covering, I think, I didn't write it down, I didn't go through it, but I think touching on at least every album with a nice mix of material there. And I don't know what it was about this. I can't really define it because I think I'm a little bit on an island on this. But when this came out, I was like, this is one of the best live albums I've ever heard. Just they sound great, performance is great, the crowd sounds great, and that continues with this one. This one just came out this year, the 35 Years of Evil Existence, and the set list is kind of bizarre because they focus a lot on the. I'm not going to pronounce it because it's not only is it in Greek, it's written with Greek characters, so I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Their 2013 album, that kata is the first word. There's like 1, 2, 3, there's 5 songs from that, which you would think an album over 10 years old is kind of like, I mean, it's good, but it's not considered one of their career highlights, I don't think. But they played a lot from that. ALO from 2010, they play quite a few from. They totally skipped Non Servium, which I thought was really weird. I don't know if they're tired of playing those songs, but that's their second album that is pretty highly regarded. It's a lot of people's favorite. But other than that, they don't play the Chronos either. But they other than that, they play at least a song from each album. Of course, we got the kind of the old school part of the set where we play 3 songs from Triarchy of the Lost Lovers, and then some Thy Mighty Contract, and even throw in a song from the Passage to Arturo EP, their debut. and the gothic stuff from like the late 90s. I got a few from that. Just a really, really cool overview. I would have liked to have them throw in a non-Serbian song or two on here, but it's a 2-hour live set. The band sounds great. The crowd is mixed really well. They're not overwhelming the music, but you kind of feel like you're in the crowd, whereas sometimes it's too much of one or too much of the other. So yeah, if you're a Ride of Christ fan, I highly recommend this. 35 years of evil existence. All right, and I don't really do like collection updates. I kind of wait until there's something I want to talk about that I feel is worthy of some attention, I guess, rather than just kind of like showing you what I bought and maybe having a sentence or two to say about it. So I just recently picked this up. It's not new. It came out in 2014. It's a split from Forgjord and Necrochrist SS. Both Finnish bands, Finnish black metal bands. And what I really enjoy about this, I mean, I'm a huge Forgjord fan, so that's why I got it. The songs on here aren't on any other of their releases. But this is a true split, like a true collaboration. The intro and outro tracks are both of the bands together, which I think is a nice touch. Because let's face it, most splits are kind of bullshit. They're like, maybe some rehearsal tracks or, one new song and then they cover the other person's song on the other side of the split. And especially the 7-inch splits, I think a lot of times, unless you're a big fan, I think they're easily skippable. But this is a full length album. Basically, it's like 50 minutes long. You got the intro and outro, which is both of the bands, and then each of the bands have 3 songs that are pretty lengthy. They can, one of them's 10 minutes, and then they vary between like 6 and 8 minutes, the rest of them. So I got this for Forgjord. This is on Hammer Pate, if I didn't say. Like I said, Finnish band, black metal, started in 95 under a different name. They changed names a few times, changed their names to Forgjord in 1999. Through most of their history, it was a two-man operation. They did add a drummer in 2013. I want to do a more in-depth video about this band, but I really struggle with how to describe them. They definitely sound Finnish. You will if you are familiar with Finnish black metal, you will hear them and guess that they're Finnish. But they really kind of vary in their styles and then kind of meld them together. Cold black metal, of course, is kind of the key component, but you've got like some punkish / black and roll type riffs going on sometimes. Some folky melodies too. They get doomy in parts. Just a really unique band, and I don't really know who to compare them to. Using that lazy, they sound like, I don't really know how to say it. I would say if a lot of people know about them, I'm not really breaking any new ground here. But if you are into black metal, if you're into Finnish black metal and you haven't checked them out, check them out. They have a really weird history. They did a couple of demos early and then nothing. Their first album didn't come out until 2006, and like I said, they formed in 95. But they've been pretty regularly putting out albums now, and their last album was on my top 10 of the year for last year. Anyway, back to this. Okay, so we got the collaborative intro. A lot of acoustics in it, just kind of like easing you into what you're getting into. And then the first Forgjord song is 10 minutes long. It's very mid-paced and hypnotic, I would say. One thing that's pretty consistent throughout their recordings is it's definitely lo-fi, kind of a dirty sounding production, but it's clear. It's not buried in mud. You can hear everything. It just kind of has an edge to it that I really enjoy. I like dirty production, but when it gets too much and then you have to like try to decipher even what's happening, it just kind of can lose me. But I really like their sound. They're playing as a very loose feel. I mean, some may say sloppy. I don't consider it sloppy. It really feels almost like jamming a lot of times. So for this 10-minute song, like I said, hypnotic. But it builds up and gets kind of crazy, like you're standing in the middle of like a maelstrom. Just a fantastic song from them. The next one, and again, I'm not pronouncing these because here you go. You can't see it, but there you go. They're in Finnish, and I'm not gonna try to pronounce their horribly difficult language. The next song has like a gloomy kind of symphonic beginning. So, like I said, they don't stay in one lane. They kind of move all over the place before kind of blasting back into the more savage black metal. And then their final song starts off with a really simple riff with kind of frantic vocals over it in a slow drum beat, and then it kind of builds into more like a militaristic kind of tempo. I feel like I'm not doing justice to this, but check out Forgjord, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I was not familiar with Necrochrist SS at all. Like I said, I just got this for the band I knew I liked. They are more in the traditional Finnish black metal vein, I would say. If you are familiar with Satanic War Master, they're kind of definitely in that kind of style. A little bit of a melancholic edge to some of the songs, which again is very Finnish. And if you have not guessed, they've got SS in their name. I don't know. I don't speak Finnish, but I think, if you're concerned about that kind of thing, you can probably connect the dots and figure out that they're probably not going to represent values that you enjoy. So make your own choice on that. I enjoyed their side of the split. Definitely, they did not sway me from Fjordgård being the reason I bought it. And I don't know if I'll ever seek out their albums, but listening to 20 some minutes of them, it didn't bum me out. It was cool. So Hell's Headbangers had this in. I don't know if they still do. I've been looking for it for a while, so I was definitely glad to pick this up. It was the only, not the only, but a big missing piece in my Fjordgård collection. So that's it for the Extremity. Now it's Bob Dylan. So for all the people who aren't posers, see you later. So I saw Bob Dylan last week. He came to where I live, Kalamazoo, Michigan. They played at Miller Auditorium at Western Michigan University. I literally could have walked there, so it was one of those things like, well, unless Bob came and played in my backyard, there's not a better opportunity to see him, right? And, not to be morbid, but he's getting up there, so it probably won't be many more chances anyway. Now, Steve at All the World's Estate, A is for Alice, B is for Bob. I said his old channel. And Marsha P from the Marsha P channel. I remember them discussing seeing Bob Dylan and kind of being disappointed at times and have him playing outright bad shows. So I was kind of tempering my expectations and did some research, and I found out that Bob plays on this tour. He's playing mostly his new album with a few older ones thrown in. So I actually had it. Rough and Rowdy Ways. This came out in 2020, I believe. And they were exactly right. I believe he played every song on the main album. There's a bonus disc with another long song. But so this album is much more low-key, laid-back, bluesy. Some of the songs don't have drums on them at all. But I did quite enjoy it, and the show definitely fit the vibe of this album. Like I said, he played a few older songs, but in the style of that album, kind of transforming the songs. And I'm not a musician, so it's hard for me to sometimes figure out how the song is being changed and how it's even the same song, really. Like, an example is he played When I Play My Masterpiece, which I knew very well from the band. And I really like that song. The band did a cover of it, and he was like into the chorus before I was like, "Oh, this is When I Paint My Masterpiece." Like, it was that much of a change, right? So I am glad I went. I believe I said to David Garage Geek that I appreciated it more than I enjoyed it, if that makes sense. I did enjoy it. But it definitely is not one of those concerts that, you know, you're rocking out or anything. You're sitting there and politely listening, and then you clap, and then the next song starts. Uh, One thing that I know Dave from the Dark Path, not the Dark Path, the Dark Stuff. Um, he was annoyed that it was a no phone show. Like, you had to, if you brought your phone in, they put it in a pouch that locked, so you couldn't get to it, and then when you left, you had to get the pouch unlocked so you get your phone back out. I personally liked it. I knew beforehand that phones were not allowed, so I just left mine in my car, so I didn't have to deal with, you know, staying in line to get my phone unlocked or anything like that. And it was really nice not trying to watch the show through somebody's screen that's holding it up in front of you. So I really enjoyed that. The crowd was very respectful. There was no, it was strange going to a concert and then between songs there's silence, and it was silent. Like, nobody's yelling, nobody's like, "I love you, Bob." Everyone was very cool. So it was a very fun experience. Somebody caught our live stream and was not pleased with me because we discussed that, you know, Bob's voice is not what it once was. And strangely, this person was also very angry that I got the capacity of Miller Auditorium wrong. I guessed. I said, I don't know, 2,000 to 3,000. This person said 3,500, and he was very upset about it. But actually, the actual capacity of Miller Auditorium is 3,497. So by Price is Right rules, he loses and I win. But going forward, I will make sure I know the exact capacity of every concert I go to, because apparently that's important. So I skipped ahead in my Bob Dylan because I'm trying to listen to him chronologically, and I'm going slow. I kind of live with an album for a couple weeks or so. So I'm only up to like Infidels in the 80s. So I skipped ahead to Rough and Rowdy Ways, and then I was like, well, I'm about here. So I picked up this box set a long time ago when I was starting to get into Bob, the Biograph box set. Originally a vinyl set, and this is the CD version, but still in like the vinyl box. And it's got, I think they say 18 unreleased tracks. There's some songs that were never released. There's some live versions. There's some alternate versions. Comes with this really big, you know, vinyl size book, and I think this has been re-released as a CD package, in a CD size. But this is the version I got, and strangely, here's the liner notes for the tracks. This is just like an overview of Bob's career to that point, and you know, interviews with him and stuff like that. But the liner notes are on these like just loose paper sleeves. I'm assuming these were the inserts into each album, since they're that size and they're not bound together or anything. So kind of annoying to read through to figure out where you are, but that's that, I guess. Anyway, I brought this up because I wanted to say, if you're like a casual fan of Bob Dylan or new and trying to get into it, this is a pretty good overview of, you know, the 60s through the 70s. And you've got some extra tracks on there too, so it's not, once you have all the albums, this isn't worthless. Though I'm sure most of these extra tracks have been reissued on, you know, he's putting out these bootleg box sets now, compiling all kinds of unreleased stuff. But still, I got this, I think, for $10, and there's tons of them floating around. So I would definitely recommend it for any curious Bob Dylan listener. I guess that's it, guys. I got a big package from Kevin from Graveworm. I ordered some things, and he sent me all kinds of flyers and old show posters and stuff like that I wanted to show off, but I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm going to do that separately. That's it then. All right, guys. Oh, I didn't think of a closing line. So thanks for watching, guys, and once again, fuck Booker T.